Well, hello, and welcome to the mass flow rate video. So all we're going to do in this video is identify what mass flow rate is and come up with an equation for mass flow rate. So let's start with a very simple example. What if we had a conveyor belt, and on that conveyor belt were some 10-pound weights? So a 10-pound weight, a bunch of 10-pound weights are on this conveyor belt. If I wanted to know what the mass flow rate is, I would pick a point. Let's pick this point right here. And I would count how many 10-pound weights go past that point every minute. So let's say that 30 of the 10-pound weights go past this point every minute. So 30 times 10 pounds divided by 1 minute. So I would argue then that the mass, put a dot over it for flow rate, the mass flow rate would be 300 pounds mass per minute. Or we could convert, and if you're new to my classes, I really like using this horizontal and vertical line method for doing conversions. 1 minute is 60 seconds. I call that the railroad track method, because when you look at a map, you see the railroad track on a map looks like this. 1 minute, 60 seconds. This looks like it would be 5 pounds mass per second. Well, in thermal, we are very rarely looking at weights going past a point. Instead, what we normally look at is water or some other fluid flowing, usually in a pipe. So let's take a pipe. And that pipe will have some diameter, D. And I will count how much mass goes past a certain point in a given time. And let's see. So mass flow rate is going to equal mass divided by time. And mass, let's see. I'm trying to remember what density is. I always remember density. And by the way, in thermo and fluids, we use the symbol rho for density. I always think of density as mass per unit volume. Mass per unit volume. You probably remember that from chemistry. Well then, would it be true that mass is density times volume? I'll tell you what, a symbol that we use in thermo and fluids for volume is V with a little squiggle through it. And we use that to differentiate between volume and velocity. So stick with me there for a second. I'm going to take density times volume and divide that by time. So mass flow rate is density times volume divided by time. Well, what is the volume of some amount of water in a pipe? It's a round pipe. So if we were to look in the end, we'd see that. So what's the equation for volume? Wouldn't that be area times distance? Would it be the area times the length? Let's just use length. Area times length. So if this were a pop can size slug of water flowing through this pipe, it would be round, it would have some length, its volume would be area times length. Yeah, I think that's going to work. So density times area times length divided by time. Density times area times length divided by time. Length divided by time, or this distance divided by time. What's another name for distance divided by time? You're right. Velocity. Velocity is distance divided by time. So maybe I could say m dot equals density times area times speed, or velocity. And in fact, this is the most common equation for mass flow rate of anything flowing in a pipe. We use it all of the time. And how would we find the area? Well, we could take pi times the radius squared, or pi times the diameter squared over 4. But this is the equation for mass flow rate. Let's take a quick look at what the units would be. Let's see, mass flow rate units. Density is mass per volume, so pounds per foot cubed, times area, square feet, times velocity, feet per second, feet cubed on top, feet cubed on the bottom. Mass flow rate has units of pounds per second. All right, well, that's all there is to this video, is a quick look at what mass flow rate means. We use the symbol M with a dot over it. A lot of people call it Mdot. And that's about it. Oh, I bet you have a question about my hat today. My wife and I got this hat at the MacLeod, that's her maiden name, at the MacLeod Castle, the Dunvegan Castle on the Isle of Skye in Scotland. So this is the tartan for my wife's family's hunting. It's their hunting tartan in Scotland. All right, you have a nice day.